Okay, generational talent is back for a season 2 of the NFL season. If you guys remember, generational talent last year started off trying to be a just sports in general show. We found out very quickly when the passion's in one area, we just need to stick with where the passion's at.
That's a great point.
And so yet again, we are back focused entirely on the NFL season.
And you are?
Oh yes, I'm Tommy Crowder. I am the son, and then you are.
I'm Travis Crowder. I'm the old man. I'm his dad.
And so between the two of us, obviously, that is where generational talent comes from. We have very different opinions and takes on sports just based off, how we've lived our lives and how long we've been on this planet.
Yeah, a few years.
Now, that being said, both of us are Seattle Seahawks fans, so we're coming off of one of the best seasons of the NFL ever. And even if you're not a Seahawks fan, there's no denying that the 2025 season was so full of unexpected moments, teams that you didn't think would be good all of a sudden being good, and teams that you thought would be great, like the Chiefs, falling apart. And so,
which is what makes the NFL awesome.
Exactly. A season like that is a fun one where you didn't know who was going to be winning it by the end of it. Nope. Obviously everybody had their strong takes, but I mean, it was anybody's game, especially when those playoffs hit. So many unexpected things happened. Overall, it was a great season. I hope 2026 can mirror that, especially with the Seahawks winning again. I would love that too.
But this is just my favorite time of year. I mean, just getting rid. I mean, I'm a fall guy, anyways. We both are, and we love our cooler temps, we love our holidays, and we love our football. Oh. So I'm always when it gets to like late August, early September, I'm itching. I'm ready.
No, and I haven't watched a lot of preseason games only because they don't come with my NFL tickets, Someday ticket subscription. So it's just more or less just trying to catch up on it and watching highlights. But let's be honest, folks. I mean, I like watching preseason just to get something football, but it doesn't tell you anything. It really doesn't.
Yeah. And I don't want to see our studs out there.
No, I don't.
Just because I'm like, I don't want to see. I mean, you already just saw it. We get to it in the news, but you saw a team lose their center yesterday, and it's like, oh.
Or, for those of you that have seen the clip or watched it live, Jackson Dart getting absolutely demolished in his preseason game. It's like, it's scary stuff like that. It's like, you don't want to start your season without these main tier guys over a preseason game that means nothing.
It means nothing, especially when these aren't guys fighting for their jobs. They have these jobs. They know they're, to me, preseason is exactly that. It should be guys fighting for their jobs. These are the guys that are looking to make the roster, looking to be the, second or third string guy. Yeah. And that should be competitive. That's cool.
Yeah.
But when these are your first string guys, heck no, I don't want to see them out there.
No. Because even Joe Burrow did a couple reps recently too. I'm like, what in the world are we doing?
Yeah.
Especially with Joe Burrow, he's so fragile. So
he's a little guy.
Normally for generational talent, when we get to the actual season, right? Segment 1 is going to be the top 10 takeaways. We talk about the 10, big moments that
from the week
of that week. Mm-hmm. Segment 2 is all about betting, odds, and favorites. We go through each matchup.
And we're Nevada. We're Nevada folks, so betting's got to be part of it.
Yeah, no, we're professionals. When we place bets live on air, we don't live on the podcast. Yeah. So we put our money where our mouth is every week. We pick our 3 favorite bets. We bet on those, but then we also just go through every single standing and matchup.
Last year for me, just from watching, just the progression of the account or whatever. Not that I always have years like this, but last year was amazing. Last year, it just
for me.
Yeah, I know. I felt bad, but last year for me, I did one deposit at the beginning of the season, and it carried me all the way to the end.
Ironically enough, for me, I couldn't make a dime off the NFL, but all these other goofy sports I've been betting on in the offseason because I'm bored, I'm making $1,000.
Yeah, you did good.
It goes back to the America 250 fight, UFC fight at the White House, right? I put $20 down, ended up leaving that night with like $40, maybe even more than that, actually. And then I just was like, well, I'm going to throw this on random crap. So I'm betting on women's basketball.
I know, I'm
betting on the PGA Tour. I'm betting on ABC and the next thing I got $1,000, was able to pay a couple bills off. I was a happy man.
Yeah, you're a happy man. And and we're, just so everybody knows, we're always talking about betting responsibly. We do. It's not like we're betting thousands.
We're betting $5.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of fun. We're the average Joe when it comes to that stuff. So believe me, we're not, constituting get out there and bet your paychecks. Do not do that.
No. Only bet what you can afford to lose and never chase your losses.
Yep.
And then normally for segment 3 of this show, we go over our power rankings. Well, and we only do a top 10 power rankings. We don't want to be here all dang day, folks. We have jobs too.
Yep.
So for today, though, being that we're in preseason, we're going to go over some news in the first one. There's not a lot of takeaways I can make here because I didn't watch a lot of the preseason games. For part 2, we will be doing some season-long bets as well as playing some fun games. And then part 3 will be a preseason power ranking, which is always fun because you don't know what that's going to turn into. So
Correct.
You're basing it just off what you see on a roster rather than
and
actual
I can promise you that's where the generational difference between the two of us in terms of how we see this season starting out.
Oh yeah, no, I know we're going to disagree on a lot of these things. So, first and foremost, let's get into the news here.
Yeah.
Right now, we've got, in my opinion, 4 rookie quarterbacks to watch right now and throughout the season. We saw in small snippets from preseason games both Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson looking very good. Ty Simpson for the Rams, obviously Mendoza for the Raiders. Both are not listed as starters, but there is chance for both of them to start. Maybe not so much Ty Simpson. We're going to talk a little bit
only
about
if that's an injury. Yeah, there's no way he's going to get that gig unless Stafford goes down.
But yeah, both those two looking good. We also have Drew Aller for the Steelers, who looked pretty good in some of his preseason stuff. And then Carson Beck, who was really just all over ESPN and stuff. People really liked watching him play for the Cardinals. Odds are he'll give Jacoby Brissett a run for his money.
You've also got Gardner Minshew over there, too. So, not that he's not going to get that job, but he's got a couple of vets in front of him right now.
No, it's definitely interesting. We'll see what those 4 rookie QBs can do throughout the season, if any of them end up starting, which obviously I think Mendoza for sure we're going to see, but the other ones are all toss-ups.
He's to me, I know we differ a little bit. I think that Raiders team's a little better than you do, but
I think Mendoza's good. I just don't think that's a cohesive unit.
Yeah, I don't know yet. They're young. You got a new coach. You have the best center in football. You picked up Lindemann. Stud. You got Bowers. You got, what's the running back? The kid's name?
Ashton Genty.
Genty. Yeah, you got Genty. You've got... To me, you got talent. You do have talent. And, of course, you got Max Crosby. So I don't think that team's too bad. But you're right about the chemistry. But I think with a new young coach, you have a new young quarterback that you've drafted, I think they're on the verge of turning things around there.
And enjoy our offensive coordinator.
I know, he's a stud. Kubiak.
We saw Ricky Pearsall out all season for the 49ers.
Niners just cannot. I swear, they just live on the injured list.
And for poor Ricky Pearsall, it's like, talk about a dude whose NFL journey has been just haunted by injuries. I mean, who gets shot in the chest?
Yeah, and thankfully survives, of course.
Yes.
But you're right, only to come back and get knocked out that season, and this season you don't even play.
Yeah, that knee injury took him out.
They brought Debo back.
Yeah, and... it's interesting. Debo is one of those, wide
You look at him and you wonder, how in the heck can this guy be any good?
Yeah, like he does not have the build of a wide receiver.
No way.
But yet he's pretty good. I mean, he did fine for the Commanders last year.
Well, what I love about him too, I'm not a humongous Niner fan. We all know Seahawks fans, we can't be. But I will say Debo is like, he's McCaffrey type. I mean,
he'll do it all.
He does everything, and he doesn't mind sacrificing his body at all.
And anything is better than Brandon Ayuk, because that dude's a puke.
Yeah, boy, don't those words go together well.
Oh yeah, well, and he wanted to go to the commies, but yet as he's trying to get onto the commies, right, burning every bridge in San Francisco, and he's also burning bridges with like Jaden Daniels and players on the Commanders. I'm like, brother, what are you trying to do?
He's a punk.
He's just an idiot, and like, I hope to God he does not get it.
And that's Reno's own too. How proud are we of that?
Oh, is it really?
He's Reno High. Oh. He was one of, your colleague, Christina. She was one of his Boys and Girls Club kids.
Oh, God, how embarrassing.
Yeah.
For him, not for us.
Yeah, I know.
So here's some other notable news stuff. We have Devin Witherspoon with a 4-year, $132 million contract. If you're not sports savvy, that is the corner for the Seattle Seahawks, the lockdown corner for the Seattle Seahawks.
Stud.
It's a hell of a contract.
$33 million a year.
Yeah, but I think earned.
I think in terms of, these salaries are always insane. They, they're none of them make sense. But in terms of today's game, I mean, there's an argument to be made with Surtain. Patrick Surtain. But I mean, I look at it going, they're both the best. And to me, you're going to pay it.
Yeah.
There's certain positions where you have to pay it and you need shutdown corners.
Popular stuff going around right now. Tua Tagovailoa looked awful during his preseason stuff to a point where there's even a meme photo going around where you have Michael Penix basically pointing at him and saying, this guy for real.
Oh, no way.
Oh yeah, I'll show you that after this.
No way.
And that clip has gone pretty viral pretty quickly because people are saying, okay, garbage calling garbage. Like, who are you, buddy? But in reality, that quarterback room is, I think, janky. I don't think the Falcons have anything going for them right now.
I don't either. I think, which is too bad too, because if you talk about a team that you have weapons, you have very good weapons. I mean, Pitts and
Bijan Robinson
and
you're talking about Drake London.
Yes, thank you. Those three are three of the better players in those positions in all of the NFL.
I think I mentioned this fun fact to you the other day. Bijan Robinson has not missed a game in 3 years, which doesn't sound that crazy until you realize he's a running back. Running backs do not do that.
No, they all get in. None of them do one season. I mean, no, that team. So it's too bad because obviously it just goes to show you. We all know this in the NFL. Without a quarterback, you can't win.
Yeah,
You just
100%.
can't. You have to have a marquee, or either marquee or a very, very efficient quarterback, none of which they have in Atlanta. So yeah, I don't think they're the worst team in the NFL. We'll get to that, but I do think they're in trouble.
Agreed. We have Najee Harris going over to the Giants.
Great pickup.
I think that is a smart move. Like you and I were saying before we started recording, Cam Scatabo, hell of a running back, but does not protect himself enough to where I would comfortably want only him in the backfield. I'd go committee any day of the week with a running back.
Leads
like
with
that.
his head. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, but I do, and I'm not sure how healthy Najee is and everything, but I mean, it's been a full over a year since his injury, so I would assume he's back.
I would assume so too. You got Von Miller going to the Cowboys. Von obviously very past his prime,
Very veteran.
but the man keeps playing every season.
And he did good last year. I can't remember. I think he got like 8 sacks or 7 sacks.
I would say he's definitely not. I mean, is he Pro Bowl form? No. But is he bad? Also, no.
No. And I think leadership. One thing about Dallas, I personally think Dallas is going to have a pretty good year. So
I personally don't.
yeah. There's our generational differences. But I do. I mean, I would never. I'm not going to say no Super Bowl stuff. That team hasn't been relevant since the '90s. But yeah.
You
but
ask
I mean,
a Cowboys fan, every year's their year. So
no. Well, there's a few teams. I think you can say the same for Niners.
Oh, 100%. And then finally, the only other piece I've gotten, that I know you had one, but I have Keenan Allen going to the Colts. That's a pretty recent signing as of yesterday. I think it's just a 1-year deal. I didn't actually fully look into it. I'm not opposed to it. I think a veteran presence may be good because right now all they've got really is Alec Pierce because they let Pittman go. We'll see if Danny Dimes can look the way he did last year. I don't think the Colts are going to repeat what they did.
A lot of talk about Anthony Richardson looking pretty darn good too.
I also have no faith in that guy.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, I wonder, yeah, it'll be
the second he asked his coach to let him take a break because he was tired. I was like, nah, this guy don't
That's
belong
not.
here.
Do you think Danny Dimes though is going to repeat?
No, I do not. I like him a lot, and I loved that story of the Colts last year, and a team where they bring back Philip Rivers is crazy. But I just don't see it, because whatever magic he had going for him, well, defenses are onto it now. They have a full year's worth of footage to look at, and you know that they're studying that if you're in their division for sure.
I agree.
So it's like
that's exactly it.
I just don't see it happening. That and they didn't do any big signings that would blow me away. I mean, Alec Pierce is still there, but I don't think he's as good as people
Jonathan
think.
Taylor is going to be their saving grace if they're to keep them competitive. They're in a division. I think they can stay relevant. I think they can be around 500.
100%. But yeah, the signing of Keenan Allen, again, aside from a veteran presence, he also plays the same slot that Alec Pierce does. So you're basically just...
I mean, he's a class act. I mean, you don't hear a lot of bad about him at all. But yeah, he definitely...
He's not a weapon.
He's long in the tooth, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's all the news I had. You did have one piece.
Terrion. Well, I don't know if they call him Terrion or Terrion Arnold.
I've heard Terrion is what I've been hearing.
Terrion Arnold. And so here's the deal. It's a bittersweet deal, but he's the corner, first round draft pick, their first pick for the Lions in 2024. He's the corner that is up on a lot of felony charges regarding
kidnapping.
Kidnapping, a whole bunch of stuff that, of course, he's saying is who knows how that's
alleged.
Alleged, and we're gonna see how it all unfolds. No matter what, though, he's on the can't play list from the commissioner. So until they get a determination on it, but what do you think, son? I mean, they picked him up. He's a corner. He's obviously a first round pick corner from 2 years ago. I'm not super stoked on it only because I don't know how he was in the locker room with the Lions, to be honest with you, but I don't like the bad PR that was going to come with him. True.
For the Seahawks, right, we've done a really good job of getting rid of players when they get to that point of
chemistry.
Egos getting to be too big. I mean, love DK. We probably hung on to him for maybe a year too late, but he was a locker room problem. You're never going to convince me otherwise. Gino, I think, was on his way to becoming a locker room problem. That's for sure. Look at how he was.
Same thing with Russell. I think they traded Russell, not locker room problem, but ran its course. They were tired of him.
Earl Thomas is another one we got rid of at the right time.
Yeah, bad dude.
Off our sidelines.
Bad dude, bad attitude.
But it was one of those things to where
Gino,
we're just not used to picking up that kind of player. Like we normally trade that kind of player away. We don't normally pick that up. I mean, at most, maybe Jamal Adams would be like the one scenario.
And he just blew out his leg or whatever he's done.
He has not been good since the one season he had.
I think, from what I understand, Jamal did a little decent last year with the Raiders because remember they converted him to
there was
linebacker.
Nobody else.
Well, they converted him to linebacker too. Yeah. He can't be a safety or a free safety anymore.
He's not.
He's not built. But yeah, no, I would agree. And I am a firm believer in locker room. I mean,
well, and it's funny too because we trade away Reek Woolen for being a problem, and then we bring in a problem. It's like, what was the game plan?
And I had no problem with Reek Woolen going anywhere.
Yeah, no,
I was perfectly. I mean, he almost cost us a playoff game single-handedly.
Yeah,
taunting that sideline. Oh,
his attitude and just the immaturity did not bode well for us. Because I mean, you look at our presences on the defense, and I think we have such a solid core. I think Ernest Jones. I think Leonard Williams. I think Emin Wari, Devin Witherspoon. They're good.
Emin Wari's awesome.
I love him.
I do
and
too.
I'm happy to see he's going to
Cam Chancellor all the way, man. Reincarnated right there.
I don't know if you saw Cam Chancellor was on a practice squad recently for the Hawks.
Was he? No,
just to see. But you know, I like our core though because they're not a lot of big personalities.
Well, amazingly enough, it was Emin Wari that was all over Reek.
Yeah,
in that game, all over him, and you got a rookie. And to me, that spoke volumes because that rookie was
he's
right.
A leader. Between him and Ernest Jones, I think both of those guys are strong leaders.
Yeah, future's looking bright.
Oh yeah, and so you know, I don't know. We'll see what it ends up being. But am I stoked on it? No. I think it could go either one of two ways. It's either going to be a great signing because we do need a cornerback, or it's going to be a disaster. I don't see it going kind of middle, man.
You think disaster? I mean, if he is a problem at all, and they just cut him loose.
Well, yeah. So, but didn't he sign a contract though? He
1 year.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 1 year.
My only thing is, I hope he can play because that's where disaster comes from to me. Is like, did we do all this for him to not even be able to play a single game? Because that's really stupid.
It's kind of where it stands right now.
Because like to put the spotlight on us for nothing. Yeah. I'm like, why? There was other players we probably could have looked at. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know. It was the one position I thought if anybody's going to look at him, it's going to be the Seahawks, just because we do have a great shutdown corner, and then our other Job and those guys are.
I think Job's good.
I think he's good. We're gonna say, he might be good enough. I mean, depth in that position isn't too bad though.
Yeah, no.
Not when you're going against Stafford. We're gonna need him. We're gonna need those boys. Holy cow!
But yeah, that was all I had for news, Dad. I didn't know if you had anything else.
No, we can go on to our next segment. Sure.
All right, we will catch you guys in segment 2. All right, welcome back to Generational Talent. Oh, gosh, Matt Phillips is calling me, a friend from a different podcast. You know what? Hey, let's get him live on here. Ready?
Oh, poor. Okay. No language.
Hey, Matt, you can't say foul language, okay?
I never say foul language, Tommy, unless I'm provoked.
That's fair. Well, welcome to the first episode of Season 2 of Generational Talent since you called in. All right, there's going to be an awkward cut there where you don't hear the rest of me and Matt's conversation because it became work related, and I didn't feel like the audience needed to hear that.
Now, Matt will be a special guest on future episodes.
Yes, him and Nick Beaton both. We got a Broncos fan and a Dolphins fan. Actually, you know what? Speaking of which, of fandoms, proud to say,
you're gonna out her on the air.
Yeah, I don't care. As of the first episode of Hard Knocks, I got my wife to sit down and watch this season of Hard Knocks, which of course is our Seahawks. And she was so impressed by McDonald. And my wife, as I said on a different podcast, she cries like whenever the freaking Star Spangled Banner is played. You know, anytime there's a flyover, like she's just a softie. I don't know. She loves this country, loves America. Heck yeah,
she absolutely should.
Yeah, and so. You know, in that first episode of Hard Knocks, you have the Blue Angels flying over our practice, and you got our players saying, oh, yeah, we love America, all this stuff. And Lindsay's like, wow, I really like this team. And I told her, I'm like, why are you a Broncos fan? Right? Like, is there like a familial connection? Like, is there a reason you're a Broncos fan? Because, like, I'm not going to try to pull you away from something if it's
unlike you, or it's in your blood the minute you were born.
Exactly. And she tells me, she's like, no, I just like the Bronco vehicle that Ford made. I'm like, oh, okay, so Ford Motor Company is the reason you like the Broncos.
Broncos are cool.
They are. I mean, O.J. Simpson loved it. But
only white ones.
Yeah. But I tell her, I'm like, that's really it. Like, that is truly the only reason. She's like, well, and I like Peyton Manning because I became a Bronco or a fan.
I like Peyton Manning too.
Yeah, when Peyton Manning started over there. And I'm like, okay, well, he doesn't play there anymore. And, we've never even owned a Bronco, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm like, so how about we think about pivoting, right? And a whole day's worth of just bargaining. I ended up having to go to a bookstore, buy some books, and bada bing, bada boom.
Hey, you do what you got to do when it comes to converting somebody into a Hawks fan.
Whatever it took. And she, I don't think, she might listen to Generational Talent, so I'm not going to mention some of the stuff that's going to be coming for her birthday. But either way, we are going to really solidify some Hawks gear.
It's funny you said that. So speaking of how cool that is, I was with Mom over the weekend, and we're shopping at Maurice's, right? It was a store.
Yeah.
And Mom loves that store. Well, she's telling me, and I lost a bet. This is what she said, and you'd love this. She goes, honey, they sell NFL products. I go, no way. I mean, like NFL shirts and jerseys. No way. I've never seen those in there.
Yeah.
Well, and so we made her a bet. She goes, yes. And she's adamant. Of course, me being, I'm never stubborn at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, I said, no, you're crazy. So we made a bet. And I said, I'll tell you what, if they sell anything NFL merchandise-wise, you can buy whatever you want. Go in. No, there was nothing in there, right?
Oh.
But when Mom brought it up to the young lady that ran it, she goes, "Oh yeah, but it's online." I'm like, "Oh no!" And so sure enough, but
That's not a push. You don't consider that a push?
I do consider it. Well, no. Here's why I was good with it. What does Mom want, right? Immediately, she's like, I want that Seahawk. She picked the Seahawk shirt. She likes just the typical, like, real mild, like, logos and stuff. She loves the retro. She loves old school
Our
Seahawks.
70s logo is phenomenal.
She loves that. So, anyways, so I didn't mind losing because I'm like, I'll buy you a Seahawks shirt, sure, because she wants something new to start the season for the drafts.
Yeah.
And so, boom. So even though I lost, did I really lose because she wanted a Seahawks shirt? That's okay.
No, that's a W.
Yep.
No longer a Broncos fan. She is a Hawks fan.
Atta girl.
And we're slowly just convincing. It helped the other day, too. Leonard Williams had posted a video of him just buying a bunch of potted plants. He's a big plant advocate, and he just never has enough room for his potted plants. And my wife is all about freaking plants all over our damn house. So I showed her that. She's like, who's this guy? I'm like, that would be one of our absolute stud defensive players.
Yep.
And she's like,
announced his final year.
yeah. And she's like, and he loves plants. I'm like, yes, he does. She's like, oh, wow. I'm like, yes, more of a reason to be a Hawks fan.
Absolutely.
That, and she loves JSN, how soft-spoken he is. He just seems like a sweetheart. Who doesn't love JSN, though?
Yeah,
I mean, that guy's a stud.
It's all out on the field with him.
Okay, so we do have some bets, though. Obviously,
Yes.
preseason, we don't bet on preseason games. If you bet on preseason games, you're a psychopath, and I love you, but I cannot follow in your footsteps.
Yeah, no, I don't want to just donate money.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, you could throw anything at the wall and hope, but I don't think there's any way to properly project a preseason game at all.
Well, so here's what we're gonna do. I'll just throw out some. I'll start with, you're talking about futures. Yeah. I'll start with Super Bowl odds.
Oh, I was going to share the three I made, but yeah.
Oh, share the three you made. And then I'll go over these.
Okay, and again,
I like yours.
I understand that one of these is definitely, well, two of them are definitely wishful thinking.
The last one, the one that I didn't see the first time, I was like, oh, that's a lot of yards.
I know, and he hasn't done it yet, but he's come close these last 2 years, and I'll explain to you why I felt confident. But first and foremost, again, a crazy one, but it was after I looked at our schedule. I looked at our schedule.
These are future bets, folks, that you can bet on. Of course, most of you that bet, you can take these bets before the season starts and just hang on to those tickets.
Yeah. So my first one is the Seattle Seahawks to win 15 regular season games.
Which is a lot.
It's a lot of games. And I'll tell you, I was looking at our schedule and I'm like, win here, win here. Honestly, the only ones I don't think are wins are against the Rams. That's the only ones. Can it be done? I don't know. I hope it can.
What's your spread on that?
It's plus $1,200. It's definitely not likely. $5 will turn into 65 if I get it.
Okay.
My next one, which again, it's the yardage that really throws this one off. It is a combo bet of Sam Darnold to get 4,500 passing yards.
Yeah, that one right there.
And the Hawks winning 13 regular season games. Obviously, 13 regular season games is a little bit more doable.
13-4, yeah.
But Sam Darnold has never had a 4,500 passing yards.
No, that's why.
He came closest, not last year, but the year prior in Minnesota. He was at 4,300.
He had weapons everywhere, too.
Here's my only reason is he had over 4,000 last year with K9 and Charbonnet. We're in a different position this year. I think we're going to have to rely a little bit more heavily on the throw with K9 leading.
He's got three proven. I mean, you got Kupp, Shaheed, and
JSN.
I mean, you've got
Jake
three.
Bobo.
Bobo
And I love Jake
Bobo when he gets in there, yeah. And Horton, too. Yeah, you got Horton, too.
Oh, yeah, Tony Horton's awesome. Mm-hmm. And so, to me, I do believe this season we're going to see a little bit more of a passing game. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I figured whatever. $5 turns into 55. So,
yeah, right.
And then my final one, which again, these were all just $5 bets, guys, because we only bet what we can afford. And this is the one I feel absolutely the most comfortable about. It is the worst regular season record going to the Cleveland Browns.
We differ. I 100% agree with you. They're going to be terrible, but I don't think they're going to be the worst.
And that is a plus 1,400. That is surprisingly the biggest odds. They have that being less likely than Darnold getting the 4,500 yards.
Yeah.
And that turns $5 into 75. I just think the Browns are a joke. I think that organization is a joke. I think to come off of a proven good coach into the coach they picked, who I don't think is a good coach, is going to hurt them. I think the quarterback controversy they've got is going to hurt them. And they lost Myles Garrett. I do not.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I don't think that team's going to. I do think they're going to be bottom 5 for sure, but I'll get to my dead last.
So those are the three that I did place. But yeah, if you have the stuff for some.
So here's some futures. Here, you want to hear some futures? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Let's get into that.
Super Bowl, right? Why don't we just talk Super Bowl? Because that's kind of the one most people will take a bet on. Well, we're going to test your knowledge there, stud. Obviously, I'm very sure we all know who the number one favorite is.
It's going to be the Rams.
It is going to be the Rams, and they're a plus 5. So in other words, you bet $5, you win 25.
Yeah.
Who do you think is number 2?
Should be the Hawks, but they'll probably, knowing them, they'll have the Bills.
They do have the Bills.
Yeah.
And the Bills are 10-1 odds. So that's number 2. Now there is a tie. There you go, son. There is a tie for third at 12-1 odds. The Hawks being one, and this one may surprise you. Surprises me.
They're not putting the Patriots, right?
No.
Okay.
No. Actually, no. And the Patriots are not even.
So it's an AFC team, right?
It is
The
an
other
AFC
one?
team. Surprises me. I definitely.
Not the Ravens.
It is the Ravens.
Is it really the Ravens?
And I didn't see that, huh?
I
And then
don't see that.
following out the top 5, number 5, this one's kind of a surprise based on how they did last year. Don't get me wrong. Last year was a complete disappointment. Detroit Lions.
I would love it, but I think their window's closed.
Yeah, it's
And
a
it's
weird deal.
that it is closed because they have such
I
talent.
know. And I love that team. I love that coach. I mean, you guys need to rebound.
They need a good
year.
offensive coordinator.
So rounding out your top 5, these are your Super Bowl odds for this coming year. No way on this one. I personally feel no way. Kansas City Chiefs. No.
And if they do, that's just going to piss off America.
I just don't see it. I that team to me isn't. It's. I think they got a little better, but they're not enough to compete. I don't think they're better than the Bills. I don't think they're better in Baltimore either.
I don't either.
And this team, I do. If I was to put some money on, I might on this one. And I know it contradicts our conference, but I do think the Philadelphia Eagles can make a good run. This team's good, and I think they got rid of their problems.
You think by getting rid, you think that was addition by subtraction?
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. Because I feel like we're talking about AJ Brown going to the Patriots, and yeah, I absolutely.
And you
do.
think Saquon's going to go up?
I think he's healthy, but I also think they've got that other back too. Turbin, the kid from was it Jacksonville?
I think so.
Yeah, so I mean, I do think Philadelphia is 17-1 odds. Then you've got the Chargers at 18-1 odds. Here's another one that I'm not just saying this.
You didn't mention the Chargers injury during the news.
Oh, Chargers injury. My bad. Their center, I don't have his name in front of me. I apologize. But their starting center got rolled up on in yesterday's game and tore his MCL or ACL. Gone for the season. Regardless, you just lost your center. This is a team.
They keep starting every season.
Yeah, I mean, Herbert, man, you might as well just run for your life, and you need to play a different. You're playing like rugby on your team.
Quit starting your offensive line in preseason games.
Now, rounding this out, son, for top 10. Now, this is one, and I'm not just saying this because I'm not a fan. I don't think the Niners are that good. So I think they're 18-1 odds are number what?
They will be limping to the end of the season. I don't believe they make the playoffs this year. I don't think it happens. I think they are in the toughest division in the NFL. I think NFC West, even though the Cardinals somehow are in there, I think we are the strongest division. We are the strongest division. Teams of our 4 make it to the playoffs last year and looked good.
And the 2 best teams for the entire football season were there. I mean, I'm sorry, it was not the Patriots. It was the Rams and Seahawks.
And I just don't think the 49ers are going to be able to repeat getting in there.
No, I don't think so either. I absolutely don't. Now, this is where it's going to drive you nuts. Okay, so that was number 9. Number 10 is a 5-way tie. Now, or 6-way tie. All of them at 20-1 odds. One of them in there makes you very mad because, and I'll get to it in my section too.
You're going to have the freaking Bengals.
They are in there. They're one of the teams.
I'm okay with them being that low. I'm okay with that. The Jags should be on there. And if they're not, that pisses me off.
And that's you. No, they're not. They're 28-1 odds. So they're
why are we underrating that?
Here's your 20-1 odds. Ready? All of these guys are grouped together. Cincinnati, which I do believe Cincinnati's going to make a good run. And then you got Dallas. I'm also okay with. I think Dallas is good. Okay. Denver surprises me. They're that far down.
Being that low is crazy.
Yeah, Matt. If you're listening to this episode, you need to put $10 down. Win 200.
Yeah. Well, he put $50 down on them to beat the Chiefs first game, which I never bet on first game, but
he did, huh?
Yeah,
out of the gate.
$50, yeah.
Attaboy. Here's another one. I'm not sold on this year. I'm not. Houston Texans. I do not. Their defense is awesome.
I say you and I will have to. We'll be talking more about.
Okay, all right. Green Bay Packers also.
I'm okay with that.
Yep, and the Patriots. Yeah.
It's so funny too because I have them. Well, we'll talk about it on Power Rankings, but what a team that again to even think of them as last year's Super Bowl team.
20-1 odds out of the gate. Yeah,
it's the fact that they even made it last year is crazy because nobody has faith in them.
Injuries. I don't think they would have got there had it not been for Bo going down and half these.
And the easiest both regular season and postseason 100%. Schedule I've ever seen in my life.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that team, and it was evident because the Seahawks just manhandled them from start to finish.
Yeah, Diana Rossini's Patriots, man, what a team, huh?
Now there's 2 teams here, the next 2 teams, and then we'll move on to the next bet. But the next 2 really surprised me. I thought these teams would be out. Your Jacksonville, I do agree.
There it is.
And the Chicago Bears at 22-1. I thought
I feel like they should be higher too.
I think they should be better than those teams.
Yeah.
So there we go. So Tommy knows how I feel about Cincinnati. Of course, I want to see my Hawks. I just also got to be a little realistic that the Rams are going to be very tough.
You said you had another bet.
I did. Super Bowl MVPs, their stud. I think we need at some point in time to predict these things, but or however you want to do it. But who do you think they've got as the number
They're going to
one?
have Stafford.
No.
What?
No. Matter of fact, no. There is 7 guys ahead of him with higher odds.
With Super Bowl MVP. Maybe Garrett then.
Or
at that point.
lower odds, however you want to see it. What's that?
Miles Garrett?
No, they're all offensive. Where's the first defensive player? I don't even know if they have a defensive player on the MVP.
So how the heck, if they have the Rams winning the Super Bowl, how the hell do you not have Matthew Stafford as your Super Bowl MVP? That makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, I don't even see Miles Garrett on here. I'm sorry. What were we saying now, son? I'm sorry.
If you have the Rams winning the Super Bowl, how do you not have Matthew Stafford as Super Bowl MVP? That doesn't even make any sense. So they probably have Josh Allen then.
They do. Josh Allen's number
but
one
yet
odds.
they don't have him winning the Super Bowl.
No, matter of fact, Matthew Stafford's odds are twice his. Josh Allen is 6.5 to 1 odds. And then here we go. Joe Burrow, number 2. I'm telling you.
That doesn't even make any sense.
I'm telling you. You're going to be going, Daddy, you're so right.
No, man. And then JSN should be up there too.
Lamar Jackson is 3rd.
Get out of here.
I know.
Get
Crazy.
out of here.
Mahomes is 4th.
All of this before Stafford. Bro, put the money on Stafford
Justin
now.
Herbert before him.
Put the
Drake
money on
May
Stafford.
before him.
Drake May before Matthew Stafford is Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
Is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. My
Regular
life.
season MVP.
Oh, okay. You said Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, did I?
That's why I was like so confused over these things.
Regular season MVP.
Okay.
I'm
That
sorry.
changes
I'm
things
sorry.
up. So now it's for sure a quarterback. It'll never even be a defensive player.
No,
or
I am sorry. My apologies. Yeah. No, regular season. I didn't know I said Super Bowl. Sorry. Regular season. Dak Prescott, and then we get to
Still though,
Stafford.
to have some of those guys over Matthew Stafford is insane.
All those
Insane.
guys. All those guys.
Josh Allen number 1 is totally understandable for regular season for
Regular
sure.
season,
Totally
yeah.
understandable.
Oh, Miles Garrett is on here. You could bet on him at 150 to 1 odds.
I think America knows at this point in time in the NFL, unless you're a quarterback, you will never win regular season MVP. Now, if you're a position skill player, you can win Offensive Player of the Year or Defensive Player of the Year. You're not winning MVP because the last time that happened, I think, was Adrian Peterson, right?
I believe so. Sounds about right. Yeah.
So, I mean, it just doesn't happen. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Because, I mean, like in reality, yeah, Stafford earned it last year and Josh Allen earned it the year before. But there's been times where it's like, you can't tell me that, Saquon Barkley's year wasn't, or not Saquon. Yeah, Saquon Barkley's year wasn't more impressive than some of these people. It's like, it should have been voted on a little bit higher.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's just the way that works. I'm definitely fine with Josh Allen being number 1 on that. I think he is a regular season stud. I think stat line stuff, he absolutely kills it for sure.
Where do you think the Mendoza line is? Speaking of bets, you know how you did it on one of yours in terms of the teams betting, winning over under in total wins.
Yeah.
What do you think that line is for the Rams?
Like where they're setting it?
That midpoint. Yep.
Oh, they're setting it at 12, I bet. Yeah.
Yep. So the 13 and over is where it's $1.50 plus $1.50, and then it gets higher from there. So yep. And then your Hawks, I could see. Yeah, you went way high because I don't even see 15 or higher even on here.
No, I think it starts at 10.
It does start at 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're cowards. They're doubting us.
So now, do you know who the next highest amount of win totals in terms of the betting odds was after the Rams? They're real big on these guys. I
It's
can't
the
believe
Bills.
it. It's not the Bills.
What?
Bills are 3rd.
It's not the Ravens.
It is the Ravens.
Do they have like an easy schedule or something?
You know what it is? They've got a loaded roster. It's just a matter of which Lamar are you going to get.
But that's the thing,
last
though.
year.
I don't believe it. I think their coach they had these last, decade plus, if he couldn't get it out of Lamar, I don't think another coach will. I don't think the problem was Harbaugh. I think it is Lamar. And I don't think Lamar's a bad quarterback. I think he's overrated for sure. And I don't think that team is going to get you all the way.
Now let's go the opposite end. We haven't talked about this a little bit before I know, and then I know we got to get to our game. You ready?
No, in reality, the Ravens have a crazy easy schedule.
Is that what it? Well,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean they have some hard games. Don't get me wrong, just divisional stuff. But they have, like in their divisions, the Browns. That's an easy dub. In their divisions, the Bengals, who again, if Joe Burrow is not healthy, that's an easy dub. And the Steelers, who I think is easy dubs.
Yeah,
they also are playing Panthers. They're playing, and they do have Bills and Jags on here, so there's some tough ones. Falcons, Titans.
they got
Saints,
that, yeah.
Colts, Commanders.
Yeah.
Or Commanders is preseason, I'm sorry. But yeah, I can see them having a good record that way.
now let's go the opposite end. Who's going to have the worst record
I put
in
money
the
on
NFL.
it.
You put Cleveland. Now, you mind you, Cleveland, there's 4 teams that.
Oh, I know. I feel strongly that and I like the fact that the odds are a little bit better for me.
Now, don't get me wrong. You and I are in the same boat because, I picked a team too that is the same odds as Cleveland, and I think they're going to be the worst. And I think Tennessee Titans are going to be the worst team in football. That being said, betting odds, the worst team in football is
Jets.
predicted to be Jets. No, there's 3 worse than them.
Who the heck?
One I don't agree with.
Cardinals will be on there.
Cardinals, they have as number 1, the
Yeah.
worst team in the betting odds. Barely ahead of Fins up, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Nikki.
No, but that makes sense. So the Dolphins have absolutely nothing
No.
going for them. Cardinals have very little going for them and an unproven back
Right.
staff area. So,
And the Raiders.
yeah, I said
don't-
that too.
I don't think that, but
I
could
would
be wrong.
100% think that. I mean, people thought last year the Raiders were going to have a whole turnaround with freaking Carroll and
Well, no,
Geno
I don't
Smith.
think they're gonna. No, I don't think they're gonna win like 10 games. But I think that team can win 7 or 8. I
I don't think they win more than 5.
really.
I think they're
That's
5
where
or
their
less.
line is too.
Oh, yeah. See, I think they're less than 5.
Yeah, but yeah, I do feel bad for poor Nikki's Dolphins. I mean, oh man, your
Maybe
team.
you get first round pick, though.
Yeah, you could get. Yeah, you are the Cardinals. I do think the Cardinals are better than the Dolphins personally. I think there's
Yeah,
more
I'd
weapons.
feel way more confident in beating the Cardinals.
A healthy Jacoby Brissett with you still got Harrison there. You got the number
Zach
one.
Ertz.
You got the running back. You got the number 1 draft pick running back. I don't think that team is nearly as bad as the
And
Dolphins.
they've got a decent head coach coming in because it's what's his nuts' relative, LaFleur.
yeah.
So
And you got. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. You got A-Chain, but all your cards are on Malik Willis.
yeah, I mean, you lost Tyreek, and he was your old. I mean, you can't
And Waddle.
No, oh yeah, they did. lose
Waddle went to
That's
Denver,
right.
didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So no weapon. Yeah, no. Dolphins are screwed.
I think there's nothing there, So, and you got a division where you're gonna, a couple of times against the Bills, a couple of times against the Patriots. You're,
Yeah, no,
it ain't gonna be so good against you. All right, so those are some of the bets. I know some of the future stuff. I do like the Rams for some of that future stuff. But if I'm betting, I know you hate it, but my money's on Cincinnati to win some of these things.
That's no. Well, I'm sure we'll talk more about
Okay.
that in our power ranking.
Thank you. Yeah.
So 2 games for you. First game is called Buy, Sell, or Hold. How it works is I'm going to present to you a circulated NFL narrative, something that's pretty popular.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me if you would buy it, which is to believe it's true, sell it, think it's bullcrap, or hold it, saying that you need a little bit more time to decide, which if you give me holds, you suck because we need to get some real
I know. No, I'm
truth
okay.
out there.
All right.
So first and foremost on this one, and this is a Seahawks specific one, kind of. So Kenneth Walker left us for the Chiefs in free agency this year. Got a $43 million deal, but it left a glaring hole in our backfield, even after bringing in a Super Bowl and being our Super Bowl
no,
MVP.
I would have rather had him. Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Like, you watch some of this stuff, he's a problem over there at the Chiefs. He's gotten into fights,
Yeah.
several fights. He seems to
There might be some chemistry stuff going on.
which, whatever, cool. I hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just like Russell Wilson, right? Russell Wilson leaves and then tanks the Broncos. It's like, they're still playing for us.
Yeah,
Like,
hey, we still benefit from those trades.
K9's over there, like, you know what? I love my Hawks. Let's screw this Chiefs over. So here's the prompt, though. Do you believe that the rushing attack will be more efficient this season in Seattle without K9? Are you buying that, selling that, or holding that? Because people are saying that we could be more efficient without K9.
I'm selling that. I
don't buy that?
No, I do not buy that. Now, that being said, I hope I'm wrong. I'll tell you where the question is. Do I think the 2 vets on the team are going to be the guys to do it? No, I do not.
You think it's Jadarian Price?
Correct. So I think if it does happen, it's got to be the rookie. But do I feel 100% comfortable that is the case? No, I'm not. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, I also sell. He was so crucial. He wasn't our touchdown guy. That was Charbonnet, but he was our get you to the freaking end zone guy.
Yep.
He just couldn't break through some of those lines, but he could go. He was fast. He had wheels.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong too. Okay, our next one here. Rams rookie quarterback Ty Simpson looked sharp in his preseason debut against the Chiefs, throwing two touchdowns and silencing some of his draft day doubters. So here is the NFL circulation rumor. Ty Simpson is a legitimate heir apparent to Matthew Stafford and will take over the starting job before the end of the 2026 season without Stafford being injured.
Sell all the way. No way. Here's my thing on this. And it's not that I don't think the kid could do it, but I'm looking at it going, that to me is a lot would have to happen. And I can't even fathom a scenario with, if you're talking not an injury related move, then the entire season went up in flames for the Rams because there's no way that happens.
So you think Stafford will continue to play at the same level he's played at?
Absolutely. This year I do. Absolutely.
Okay. Coming off an MVP season, getting close to the Super Bowl, but didn't quite get there.
Right.
Oh, man. I'm going to be a pansy in this one and say hold, but
you told me not to do that.
I know, and I just don't believe that Stafford can do it again.
I do. I do for now. I don't think forever because what's he, 39, 38?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Got back injury problems.
I know. And I could be wrong, but I do think he's going to hold up. I think they've invested way too much in that line and that team. I think it's a Tom Brady factor. He doesn't get touched.
But then also, why do you pick him up then? Why do you pick up Ty Simpson?
That move didn't make a move. I honestly, I think that was a stupid move. If you're asking me my opinion, I think the Rams picking him up was dumb.
Yeah,
but
it's interesting. I mean,
and I know Stafford didn't like it.
Yeah,
I know that for a fact, and neither did the coach. Remember, Coach did not like that move. He was very clear when they stuck that microphone in his face. It was very uncomfortable. I'm like, he's not happy.
So here's another one. Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson just reset the running back market with a massive $66 million plus extensions, averaging over $22 million annually. Obviously, K9 also got a big deal, not quite that big.
Not big, yeah.
So the prompt here is paying an elite running back $22 million a year is officially good business, again, in the modern NFL.
You know, it's contradictory, right? Because, I mean, the opposite was true. Nobody was spending money on backs because you go through them, you know.
But people would immediately argue, right, the last 2 years, Saquon's the reason the Eagles made it all the way.
Correct.
Maybe not won the Super Bowl.
I was just going to say, so the to me, where I think opposite is, it depends on the back. And I know that's a terrible thing to say, but when you're looking at those little scat backs and those guys that can be just damaging the way that they play, I personally feel this. If they've got some history, Bijan being an example, where you don't miss games and he's been healthy, you pay him. Because here's my thing on this. Those two backs, when you're talking those two, they do set the market. I don't blame them. Those two are the best backs in football. And I do think the offenses in those capacities run through them. Mm-hmm. To me, Atlanta and Detroit, and I'm not saying Goff's not a stud, and I'm not saying that their stud receiver they have there, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they're good. That's their best player, and that's their offense going through it. So I think when your offense runs completely through that position, you pay those guys. Not every team has a back like that, so don't pay them.
So you do buy that then? Because the prompt is officially paying an elite running back.
I buy it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the elite running backs, typically, your offenses run through them.
Yeah, no, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I know it went away, but you just have to look back at, like, Marshawn Lynch was the reason for a lot of our offensive. I mean, granted, defense is what brought us to both Super Bowls, I believe, that we won. But there's no doubt about it. It could have gone differently if we didn't have a good running back.
And here's what I would say. Now, that being said,
and not handing it to Marshawn is why we didn't win a Super Bowl.
That's exactly why we don't have three.
Yeah.
And so here's my thing on that. Again, I will say this, though. That position, I only think there's about 10 teams with elite running backs, by the way. So I don't think every running back should be paid that much. I think only the elite ones, in my opinion, there's only about 10 of them in the league.
Yeah. No, I agree. I 100% agree. Not every team has one.
No. I mean, name Denver's, right? I mean, there are certain teams that
P. Ryan?
Yeah, they just don't have them. But I think when you do, you pay them.
Okay, so here's the next one. Joe Burrow is coming into camp fully healthy. The Bengals revamped their defensive front, and they have arguably the easiest schedule in the AFC North. So with a fully healthy Joe Burrow, the Bengals are the undisputed favorites to win the AFC North over Baltimore and Cleveland. Are you buying that or selling that?
I am buying that like no other.
And I don't necessarily, I buy that too. I'm going to up this one. You also believe that the Bengals will be Super Bowl champions.
No, Super Bowl bound. I don't think
Super Bowl
they'll
bound.
I do think they can. I absolutely think they can make it to the Super Bowl.
So you would say Joe Burrow to Super Bowl this year?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yep.
I will sell that.
I know you will, but I'm on record. I do think that team got
I definitely think they are better than Baltimore and Cleveland for sure.
And
if he's healthy.
If he's healthy. Don't get me wrong, but we can say that about any team. I mean, you lose we know it too. Any one of us lose our quarterbacks, our season's over.
Yeah.
We all know that. Yeah. I mean, that's just the way the NFL is.
I think the problem with Joe Burrow, though, is he has progressively shown that he's fragile. It's very similar to Lamar.
Mm-hmm. I know, and I know that. He is fragile. And I mean, I'm banking on the fact that he does one whole season healthy. He gets there.
Yeah. I thought you and I actually might differ on this one, but hearing a comment you made earlier, I think we're actually on the same page here. So after a rocky year 2 and a heavily scrutinized playoff exit last season, C.J. Stroud enters a make-or-break season with a loaded Texans roster. So C.J. Stroud will completely shed the bust risk label this year and reemerge as a consensus top 10 NFL quarterback. You buying that?
Sell.
Sell?
I don't buy that at all.
Yeah, I sell that too. I thought maybe you'd buy that one, but no, I sell that one too. Here's the thing though. Do I think the Texans can also still be the best? I do, because all you need is average quarterback play from him, and they will do the rest.
I do think, I will say this, I don't think that team's going to do that well this year, but I do agree with you that their defense is what will keep them in every single game, because their defense is awesome. I think that's the best thing about that team is their defense, but technically, no.
I missed a phone call from something I think I needed to answer, but it's okay. I'll call him back. No, you're good. You're good.
So, but I do think their defense is awesome. But no, I like CJ Stroud. I don't think he's a bad guy, but I look at those playoff performances and everything, and even just his regular season.
5 fumbles and 5 interceptions in 2 playoff games.
And you have talent. I mean, they're on the team. So, no, I think the defense will keep that team in there, but I think that team's 9-8.
Because you could argue last season that had he just done average, had he done the bare minimum and just game managed, they would have gone further.
Agreed.
They could have potentially been Super Bowl bound with the path that ended up happening with Broncos getting busted up and the Patriots.
Yeah, the AFC totally got thrown in the air. Just see how it all lands. I mean, it was a mess.
I mean, it was very clear that CJ sunk that team. That was his team.
It was on him.
Yeah, it was
all the way.
On him.
And so to me, that's why I don't think that team, as long as they think he's the answer, I personally don't think that team's going to get there. I think that team legitimately could be like 9-8. I don't think they're going to be that good. That's my opinion. No, I am selling all the way. I do not think that team is on the verge of awesome.
Okay, so we both sell on that one. So now my final game here. Oh, son of a gun. My final game here is going to be... Where did it go? Here it is. I'm going to pitch to you. I don't really have a name for this one. Maybe. Okay. I'm going to call it On the Clock.
On the Clock. Okay.
So what's going to happen is I'm going to give you 5 2026 matchups. Basically, we're pretending we're head coaches here, okay? You're going to pick one of these two, right? They're going to be the same position, and they're both going to be either, I think they're all talented is what I have here. And you're just going to tell me which one you pick for your team, okay? So you have the first overall pick in the draft. These are both the backs, or let's say you've got the ability to trade for them because we want to know what they have already, right? So you're putting together a team. Are you taking Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson?
Oh, man. It's like having me pick between my kids. Oh, my goodness. Here's what I would say. I would say I like what you said earlier about the durability with Bijan, the fact he doesn't miss games. So with that in and by itself, he's just a workhorse and a tank and a physical specimen. I'm going to go him. Barely. I mean, that's one of those like an A+ to an A.
Yeah. No, for me personally, God, it's hard. I think I would go with Bijan for consistency. I think that's a dude who, he is explosive. Maybe not as explosive as Gibbs, but I mean, you're talking about just an absolute workhorse. And I'm curious to see how Gibbs does without Montgomery, right? Because they split a load, whereas Bijan does not split the load.
Shake and bake.
Because, I mean, they had, Algier, I think?
They had Algier. And I think Algier is, where did he go? He's with Arizona now.
Yeah, and let's be honest. I mean, it was not committee. That was Bijan's team, whereas you could make the argument that Gibbs and Montgomery shared the team.
Definitely did at the goal line.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Montgomery got he kept getting TDs.
Okay, next one we've got. Oh, see, this one's interesting. Okay,
all right.
I had I gave the prompt because I wanted obviously not to just come up with all my own stuff. So we've got Drake May versus Caleb Williams. Now that is an interesting matchup because I would consider both of them not great.
See, I don't feel that way. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give the edge to Caleb, and I'm going to say for 2 reasons. Number one, I think the guy is maturing right in front of our eyes. I think he's definitely getting better in that role as taking on that team, and I think the relationship between him and Ben Johnson it's pretty special right now.
Yeah.
So I think I would give that edge there. Whereas with Drake May, I think he's good, but I personally think. I think the coach there is getting the best out of him. I don't know that that ceiling is going to be much higher. Where I don't know that we've seen the best of Caleb yet.
I honestly agree with you 100%. I think Caleb Williams, as much as I don't like him, and I think he's just...
No, he's not your favorite guy.
I do think he's got way more talent. I think, you look at like some of the, the intangible stuff, the stuff that you can't really put a stat line on. I think he's better for sure than Drake May.
Yeah, there's a bit of an it factor there.
I think Drake May makes it all the way because of ease of schedule. I think Caleb Williams has that same schedule. That's a different ballgame.
And I think there might be a little bit of a chemistry issue. I'm a little nervous about Vrabel right now. I think that, he had an interesting bad offseason in terms of his personal life bleeding into the NFL.
100%.
And I don't know, and I do think you're right about last year's playoffs, dude. There's timing for you guys, because I think if that was any regular type of AFC playoffs, your team wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
So that being said, I don't think New England's going to have quite the great year. I think they could still be a playoff team, probably, but I don't think that team's going to go anywhere.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I am very curious to see what the Patriots look like this year. There's no way they're repeating anything close.
No way.
I don't think.
No way.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah, I've been wrong before.
All right. Number 3, Rome Odunze, the wide receiver for the Bears, versus T. Higgins, the wide receiver for the Bengals. So obviously, if you're looking for a locked and loaded WR1, you've got 2 very good choices there, but they're definitely right now they're WR2s.
I was just going to say, they definitely are even on their own squad.
So
probably.
if you needed a WR1, who are you picking out of those 2?
You know what? I like the upside of Odunze. And the reason I say that is just because of, a little bit younger, a little bit,
That's fair.
on a team, because that's, I like Higgins too. But I think if I'm looking at statistics and stuff, it's still going to be Chase over there, getting all those catches. So,
but see, now if I'm building my own team, I do believe that anytime Jamar Chase has been off the field, T. Higgins has stepped up and been just as good. I think, honestly, I feel.
Oh no, he's a great, probably a 1 on most teams.
That's what I'm thinking. Whereas with Rome Odunze, he's now entering. This would be year 3 for him because he got drafted at the same time as Caleb Williams. So, and he just hasn't.
I know he hasn't got there, so I'm basing it on potential and the team growing, and I do think the Bears are going to have a better year this year.
And what do they say? Right, Rome wasn't built in an Odunze or something.
Odunze.
All right, next we got to me what I would consider WR1s, but they're both rookies still. Teteroa McMillan, who they put is with the Cardinals. He's not. He's with the Panthers. God,
he's with the Panthers.
Stupid.
Yeah. Nope, you got it. He's with the Panthers.
Versus Emeka Egbuka with the Buccaneers. Now, Egbuka had... So it's almost like, to me, at least from what I'm remembering from last season, it's almost opposite seasons to where Teteroa started cold, finished hot, and Emeka Egbuka started hot and then just fizzled.
Yeah. But so did Baker.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much of that, though, was on Emeka versus Baker? And same thing with Teteroa when it comes to,
Well, interestingly enough, both the quarterbacks did the same thing you just said.
Yeah.
One started out great, and
I would put it to you this way: you get either one of these WRs on your team, you're doing good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm. Oh boy, man, I haven't said it yet, but I think I'm gonna hold and wait on that one because
This isn't buy, sell, or hold, old man.
You get that I know you're making me choose. Okay,
I can go first if you want.
Go ahead.
So for me personally, I would pick Teteroa McMillan, and here's why. I think Baker is a better quarterback than Bryce Young. So the fact that I think they both produced the same, but one did so with a less than quarterback tells me McMillan probably has the higher ceiling.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I kind of like it too, and I do think Egbuka is going to be awesome. But I think the ceiling. I think that young man did great. You're right, with a quarterback that wasn't quite in the same category.
Because I feel like both of these guys could have done good with Baker Mayfield, but I can't say that both of them would have done good with Bryce Young.
That's true.
And that's where it's like, that's the only edge I would give McMillan.
I like it. Those are 2 good receivers, so either way.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And our final one, it's a running back one, the old guard workhorse, right? We've got Derrick Henry.
I was going to say, he has to fit in that category.
Versus James Cook. So you need a running back to get you through that December push, right? You've got Derrick Henry, who's got obviously just all of the accolades, and he's still just really, really good at age 32. Cook is younger, and he's explosive, and he's also heavily involved in the passing game. He does a lot, kind of both sides of that.
Yeah, where Henry does not.
I mean, I can tell you where I'm at with that one.
I mean, if you're asking me who I would take, I'm going to take Cook.
See, I guess for me, it would depend, right? Like if I'm a team and I'm on the verge, like we've got everything in place to get to the Super Bowl.
For this year.
Henry,
For now. Right now, this immediate answer.
Yeah, then I would pick Henry. But if I'm looking to start up a team, I'm obviously going to want Cook. It really depends, I think, on where you're at. Do I think, it's very clear to me.
They're such different styles, too.
Yeah,
very different styles.
Henry's the better running back, for sure. But okay, let's put it to you this way. Fantasy football this year, if both those 2 are up, who are you taking?
I'm probably taking Cook.
Yeah, I think I would. I had Cook last year in a couple teams.
Yeah, and Cook did good for me. So, I think I would take Cook because not that I don't think Henry's a beast. He is, but I just think Cook's so much more versatile. I mean, in terms of what you get, and plays a heavier game. And it's not like Buffalo's got a whole bunch of backs. What Ray Davis, I think, is the next one. I mean, not
did it all.
Yeah, and not that. Here's my thing with Baltimore. I think Baltimore's just got a lot of other weapons too. So no, I'm going Cook. I like Cook. So that, and here's what I would say on those. I think those, number one, those were great games. I think that was a lot of scenarios where I'm not 100% sure on some of those in buys and sells, but it is the fact that we're only a couple weeks away from being able to answer those questions. I'm loving it.
Yeah. Okay, so that is it for segment 2. We're going to come back in segment 3 with our preseason power rankings. So stay tuned. All right. Segment 3 now, we're going to go into our preseason power rankings. Now, obviously, these are probably going to be very different from now and then after week 1 of the NFL. So this is basically just our best guesses based off what we see on the roster.
It's going to be interesting to see where you and I are to start a season. Because usually, we're always different, between 2 or 3 spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of the gate, this ought to be fun.
Well, let's start off, Dad. You're number 10.
Okay, start from that direction. Can we do honorable mentions at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 10 for me, again, I know you're not going to have this one. Dallas Cowboys.
You are correct. I do not have the Cowboys at all.
Here's my take on them real quick. I think they're healthy. I think they've made some good improvements. I think chemistry looks to be a little bit better going into the year. I think it was a good move, Von Miller. I don't think it was a bad move just because I think you get a little bit of experience and some veteran leadership there that helps with Parsons leaving. So I personally think this team is better. I do not have illusions of grandeur, but I do think they're probably a 10 or 11 game winner for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. We hear the same talk every year since Dak took over that it's their year, and we've never seen them make a deep run. And last year they looked the worst they've ever looked.
And just to be clear, I don't think a deep run, but I do think a good year.
Okay. My number 10 is the Patriots. I see them having a very, because when we talk like top 10, right, we're talking like the top third of the NFL. I do think they're better than 2/3 of the NFL just in terms of like talent. I think they've got a lockdown corner in Christian Gonzalez. I think they are okay in the quarterback room. I think he's better than most quarterbacks in the NFL for sure. I think he's a top 15 talent, I would say.
Better half, yeah.
And I do think, as much as we'll see, I guess, if any of the the off-season stuff affects him, I think Vrabel's a good coach.
Maybe not a good hubby.
Yeah, I know. And I do think they have pretty decent weaponry on the offensive side of the ball. Do I see them staying in my top 10 power rankings? I don't know. They're the ones that I'm like, I was just kind of last minute throwing them on there.
I have them on the outside looking in. So.
Okay. You're number 9.
Number 9, I have the Detroit Lions. I like the Detroit Lions. I did last year too, though, so I'll be the first one. That was probably one of the biggest disappointments of the year for sure. Was Detroit?
Everybody likes Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just get I think you like them. You like their work ethic. You like their blue collar. You like their coach. But they've got to put it together. They have got to put everything together because you can't have that many weapons on a team that should be that good and end up playing 500 football. I mean, and quit going for it on every 4th down. So I think there's certain things that team, could have going for them. But I do think that's a team that can win, 10, 11 games easy.
That's fair. I've got, for my number 9, I have the Texans because I do believe the Texans are an incredibly good team on one half of the ball.
Yeah.
If CJ Stroud can truly bounce back, great. But honestly, I'm at a point where I'm like, if he just can do an average job, that's a great team. Yeah. That defense can carry them all the way if he just doesn't sabotage. And unfortunately, he did sabotage. That was absolute sabotage from him last season. If he can just knock his stupid stuff off, stop trying to be the hero and just be the game manager and learn to take a step back. Yeah, I think that's a great team.
Well, we're definitely off because those are your first 2 I don't even have on my 10.
Interesting. So we'll keep going. You're number 8.
My number 8 is the Cincinnati Bengals. I like this team this year. I do think this team is an 11-game winner. I really do think they'll win 11. And I think they can make a deep run at it. I think, again, if they stay healthy, I like all the changes they made in the offseason. I think they did make the right. You got Boye Mafe and you picked up, the defensive lineman. I'll pull it up. But I mean, they made defensive changes to improve on that team, and their offense is already good. They just need to stay healthy.
Okay. My number 8 is the Green Bay Packers. I really don't know how to feel about the Packers. I think Jordan Love is one of those quarterbacks who can either have an absolutely amazing game, but he always, he's one that always seems to fail in the 4th. That's where I think my struggles with him is he can't finish as well as he starts. Their weaponry is there, but it's not phenomenal.
Not to go back. I'm sorry. I was drawing a blank. Dexter Lawrence. They picked up Dexter Lawrence, the defensive tackle, and Boye Mafe. I mean, I do think Cincinnati made some good moves. Yeah, no, I got you. Tommy, your first three I don't even have in my top 10.
Wow.
And don't get me wrong, Green Bay is one of those that I went back and forth on a lot. We'll get to that in honorable mention. But no, I do get your points. If that team is another one, to me, they're like Detroit. If they can pull it all together, that team on paper should be good.
Yeah.
Green Bay should make it good. So, okay, so we're to number 7.
Yes.
For me, that's Philadelphia Eagles. I like the Eagles' chances a lot. I think the chemistry is way better.
We're close on that one.
Yeah, I think they're in good shape. I do not think. I think they can make a deep run. Do I think they're going to make it past the Rams or Seattle? No, I do not.
I don't either. They haven't beat us in 20 years. That's not going to start now.
Yeah.
For my number 7 is where I have the Lions. I have them a little bit higher than you do. Mm-hmm. Again, the team is there. Why they can't succeed baffles me.
Me too.
I don't get it at all. I mean,
be a little careful on the coaching decisions would be nice. Going on all the fourth down stupid stuff all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately for them too, it's a lot of Dan Campbell's too aggressive, but they read it now. They know what he's about.
He's emotional with his decision making, and sometimes that can be good, but sometimes you got to read the situation and where you're at in the game.
Yeah,
and go for it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You got to be at least a little bit savvy, because I love him, but that part of his game drives me crazy.
It worked really well at the beginning when teams didn't expect it. The same shtick does not work when you've done it over and over and over again. Losing Ben Johnson absolutely devastated them.
Clearly.
And as much as I truly do like him and I love his story, Jared Goff is not consistent. He's not. He's an insane quarterback, right? He's the same quarterback who had like 4 interceptions and still won a game. Like,
yeah.
You never want to count him out, but unfortunately, you're not getting the same play consistently year over year and game over game.
Yeah.
But again, everything's there for them to succeed. They just need to
put it
work.
together. Yeah, put it together.
You're number 6.
My number 6. This will make you happy. I don't know how high you have these guys, but I have Jacksonville. I do think Jacksonville. I agree with you in terms of the same thing. Weapons are all there. They made a great run last year into the playoffs and what have you. I think. It's kind of the same thing we've been talking about, though. Quarterback's got to stay healthy.
Wait, which team? I'm sorry?
Jacksonville Jaguars. Quarterback's got to stay healthy, but I do love the weapons. Still a complete and total 150 question mark on Travis Hunter. I have no idea what that dude's going to do. But I think if they can put it all together on paper, they've got talent.
Yeah, no, I agree. See, this is where we were very close on the Eagles. I have Eagles at number 6.
Okay.
I think they're a good team. I don't see them getting ridiculously deep. I see, probably a wild card exit as of right now, but they have the potential to be better. I want to see what they look like this season without AJ Brown. Mm-hmm. That, to me, that's either going to sink them or it's going to, skyrocket them. I don't think it's going to be the same team.
I think it's going to be a DK Metcalf effect is what I think, and I think it's going to be fine. Because, that's what I think. Okay, so number 5.
Yes.
Number 5 on here, and this is the one I wasn't sure, to be honest with you. I know I kind of went high with these guys, and I'm not even saying that I'm in love with them. But the same scenario, I love the coaching, I love the leadership, and I love the young talent everywhere on this field, and that's the Bears. I think the Bears, I think that team is loaded with talent all over the place, and I love their coach.
For me, the Bears were the ones that it was like between them or the Patriots. I just couldn't figure it out because I think... I don't know. The Bears, I like the Bears. I like their dynamic. I like what they're about. I don't know how to feel about them. But I'm not opposed to that pick at all. Yeah. Here's where I have the Jaguars. All the reasons you said, I think Liam Cohen has definitely changed that franchise. I think he's getting the most out of Trevor Lawrence.
100%.
Sure. And it's weird because Brian Thomas really fell off, but then they picked up, I'm spacing on who they picked up midway through the season last year. But
I know you're talking. Oh, was it Ridley?
No, it wasn't Ridley. No. It was a younger guy, I think.
I'll tell you in a second.
Still a veteran presence. But, I mean... Picking him up definitely changed the course of their season. Honestly, if Brian Thomas can pick back up and go to where he was and we can consider that a sophomore slump and he bounces back, they're going to have 2 really good receivers at that point. I just think that they're fully stacked. I think they're a stacked team. I think they...
Jacoby Myers?
Yes, that's who it was.
And Parker Washington, too, isn't a bad wide receiver as well. But
they're a team where they started off cold, for sure. They were having some struggles at the beginning of the season, but then they got wicked hot at the very end. And I think it's just because things started to mesh. So if they can start this season where they left off last, I think they're going to be a solid
they made
team.
A great run at the end. And Strange, too. Their tight end, Strange. He's good. He's a beast. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so number 4.
Yes.
Number 4 for me, I have the Buffalo Bills here. I do like I like the Bills. I think
you and I are the same.
Same on that one. Yeah. I think everything about them. They're another team that on paper, they've got all the weapons. My heart of hearts, even though that I've been saying about Cincinnati, if I had to pick a team in the AFC that I want to get to a Super Bowl and eventually win one, I really would want for that franchise. It's them. I want the Bills. I like Allen. It's like, come on, my man. You got to quit being the bridesmaid, man. You got to do this.
And unfortunately for him, that playoff loss was on him. I mean, it's really hard to say anything else. It was on him. And it's hard because he's also the same reason they got there, too. So
no, there's no doubt. Without him, that team isn't even relevant.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those things. I love Josh Allen. I want to see them go far, too. And that's why I have the Bills so high, because they have everything there. My only fear is the coaching change, because a coaching change can either absolutely do great things or it can hurt you. And I don't think Sean McDermott was a huge problem, but I understand why people can attribute to the fact of like, hey, man, you've been here, you've gotten the talent, but you haven't gotten far enough. So was it on him? I don't know.
I think you got a little bit of Pete going on there, and I think it was okay, time to go. Like Pete Carroll, there was a lot of success, but it was time. And I personally feel like that is a move that will help. I do think it's going to help that team.
I mean, and I will say, the gentleman that they put as because it was the former OC, I think, is who they made
head coach.
Yeah, and I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but
it's a good move though when you're talking about an OC that works with Allen.
And he loves Allen. I mean, they were on Hard Knocks last year, and I watched that season, and the chemistry between those two is tight. And so it's like, at least you're getting a coach who's not new to the organization or the franchise or what they're trying to do.
Chemistry was already in play.
Yeah. So, I think they could go far. Your number 3.
My number 3 is the Denver Broncos. I like the Broncos here. This is where I go back and forth. As much as I have Cincinnati as my dark horse out there kind of pick, I do think Denver and Buffalo should be the two. The Bills and Denver should be the two in the AFC to get there. I would say this. I am not going to say that I think Bo is going to be like the savior or stud. I'm not 100% on him yet. I think he's good. But I want to see a little more. And honestly, I'd love to see the coach just let him do more.
Sean Payton, I believe he holds that team back.
I think he does too. I think that team could even be better. But I will say this, their defensive side of the ball is pretty awesome. So they're pretty good.
Yeah. No, I agree. I also have Broncos at number 3. I think they were one broken ankle away from going to the Super Bowl.
True story.
I honestly, it would have been a better game. There's no doubt about that. A Broncos-Hawks Super Bowl would have
without question
such a phenomenal outcome.
And many of us, being that we have a lot of friends that are Broncos fans, we wanted that so bad.
And the second he broke his ankle, I think everybody in the NFC was like, oh, shoot, well, had we known that was going to happen, we would have rather the Bills had won, because I don't think anybody, number one, wanted to see the Patriots make it, except for Patriots fans.
Correct.
But they wanted a better game, and I think everybody also knew Bills or Broncos would have given us a run.
There's no doubt.
The Patriots did not.
We called it. If you remember going into it, we called it going before the Super Bowl. We all were saying it before the Super Bowl that I think we just witnessed the Super Bowl when we watched the Rams and the Hawks. I mean, that was the two best teams in football. And I would have said right behind the Rams in that Seahawks game, it would have been a Buffalo or a Denver matchup would have been great. I think we all had that pit in our stomach of what we ended up happening, which was Seattle coming in and destroying them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it sucks because that's just not what you want from your franchise.
No.
Especially when it's like the season was such an interesting one for them too. To end it that way was awful.
Yeah.
Okay, your number 2. I think this is where you and I are going to be flip-flop.
We're going to be flip-flop again, and I would say it's what I said last year, and you ended up being right. I was wrong, but I went with my head on this one, and I did put my beloved Seahawks at number 2. And I know where your mind's going. I just can't ignore minus some weird injuries maybe or something, that going into the season, both teams, here's what I'll say, both teams are still great, but one team got significantly better in certain positions where I think we did okay. I don't think we suffered, but we didn't get acquisitions like they did, and probably going to be doing when let's be real, we're talking about the Rams here, but and I know that's where we're different, but I mean, you got the Myles Garrett move and probably going to have a Aaron Donald move here shortly. And I'm looking at that going, those are two significantly huge upgrades. Hard to ignore.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I know who your number 1 is then.
Yeah, so my number 2 is the Rams, because again, I think the Rams are absolute beasts. I think again, between my top 2, I think they're interchangeable, and they truly are. You know, it's interesting that you look at some websites like ESPN has us as better than them. ESPN has us at number 1, and them not even in the top 5. I think.
Right. ESPN has us as the number 1 franchise for the next 3 years.
Yeah. And it's one of those things. I think we have a very good coaching staff. I think we have a very cohesive offense and defense. I do believe they have the better quarterback, but I look at some of these skill positions, and I think we match up or are right there on top of it. I think JSN's better than Puka Nacua. I think we had a better running back.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the verdict's out right now.
Yeah,
Kyron Williams is pretty good. Yeah,
he's good. And maybe Jadarian Price will blow up and be
maybe.
great. I hope.
Maybe.
And I do believe our secondary is better. I think their O-line or their D-line is definitely more.
And ours is good. Ours is really good. Theirs is just unreal.
Stacked. But I think our secondary is better. And I think for an offense and a defense like theirs versus ours, I don't know. I can see that matchup going either way. I really do.
And I do think, honestly, when you say 1 and 2, I think that's how the season's going to go. Again, minus any weird injuries, I think it's going to go back and forth in terms of who the 2 best teams are throughout the year. I do think they stand above the rest. I really do. These are the 2 best teams in football, and I hope to be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'd love it if the Seahawks end up getting back there and repeating or anything of that nature. But what do I think? I think the Seahawks and Rams games this year are going to be amazing, just like they were last year. They were amazing games.
Yes, no, they most definitely were. Those are going to be the best games of the season to watch,
question.
Especially for us. Obviously, a little bit of bias here, but
I think most of the NFL would even say. I mean, think about it. Last year, they were the best 2 games. I mean, they were amazing.
It was not a question. It was definitely not a question.
Nope.
All right, so then our lists were surprisingly not that different. Obviously, our top 5 were very similar. Actually, our top 7 were very similar.
We're very
we
similar.
differed heavily on the 8, 9, and 10.
And it's weird because I had honorable mentions. You didn't have them in yours either. So on the outside looking in, that I was going back and forth. Granted, you could make the argument for Green Bay and some of the ones that. Yeah. And I don't know if Cincinnati was on your bubble or if Dallas was on your bubble.
The only one that was on my bubble was the Bears. It was between them and the Patriots, and I figured I got to give a little bit of an edge to the Super Bowl contenders, but I do think the Bears are great.
You didn't have the Chargers or the Niners on the bubble at all?
The Chargers are ones that they're to me like the Ravens and like the Cowboys. They can get
we didn't
so
have the Ravens.
close.
Neither one of us had the Ravens.
No, and because they always get so close and then they can't figure it out.
Yet number 3. Everything in the league, and neither one of us even had them in a top 10.
And I just don't. Yeah, I don't believe the hype behind them. I've never believed the hype behind them. I think there are some solid players on there. They do not work together well enough to finish the job.
I definitely do agree that it's not so much the physical talent; it's between the ears on some of these guys. They just can't. I mean, I don't know how they can't win it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do like it. We'll have to see. Like I said, we'll have to see how interesting this list will be after we get through the first week or 2.
Yeah. What were your honorable mentions?
I had the Niners and the Chargers.
Oh, okay.
Those were the 2 bubble.
Niners, huh?
And not because I want them on there. I look at this with the Niners. If the Niners stay healthy, when you're talking McCaffrey and Kittle and Purdy and they picked up wide receiver. Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Evans. You've got some in Debo. You've got some talent there, right? Yeah. I mean, if they stay healthy, I think they could be tough. I don't know. Wild card team maybe not dominant, but do I think cracking the top 10? Possibly.
Okay. I mean, I definitely would put them in the top 20, but I don't know if I'd put them in top 10 necessarily.
I hear you.
I think they're going to be right down the middle. I think the injury bug, like every year, will absolutely destroy that team.
I
don't know why. It's so strange.
Well, aren't they saying now because they're above power lines or something?
They're blaming it on the substation. There's always, if that is one thing you can guarantee from the Niners fan base, it is excuses. It's never their fault. It's always something else. I can't stand that franchise. I can't stand that fan base.
I'm not a Niner fan, never will be. They're our enemies. And
I'm currently putting one in their place right now over a group text. It's not even like hard. It's literally like I'm battling like a third grader.
Savagery.
Yeah, it's just sad. I'd be worried about him listening to this episode, but I don't think he can work a cellular device properly, so I think we're okay. And Lord knows he can't spell generational, so we're good there.
Oh God.
Anyways, though, that's it for this episode of Generational
We're back.
Talent. Looking forward, we'll have the football season starting in a few weeks here. We'll probably do one more episode before the start of the season with some other folks on so we can go over what we think the full season will look like.
Some predictions.
Yeah.
We did that last year. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, so we're going to do that again. We'll bring in our Dolphins friend and our Broncos friend and go from there. That way we get some AFC in here. Yep. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. This was brought to you, of course, by Desert Highway Radio, and Season 2 of Mic'd Up and Mildly Qualified just dropped yesterday, I believe. Technically, I think I posted about it today. But regardless, if you like pop pop culture and comedy, go there. If you love sports, especially the NFL, you're in the right place.
All right. Sounds awesome. See you next week.
Bye.